Tonight, about to turn 5, her family running out of options and racing to raise money.
We're back to fighting for access to it again.
Desperate for access to gene therapy as their daughter battles a rare disease that could rob her of her basic abilities. A hit to health care.
The hospital is using garages and gyms and all kinds of portable spaces in order to put patients.
What eliminating 400 jobs at the Ottawa Hospital could mean for staff and all of us. And countdown to splashdown.
They'll start to brush into the upper atmosphere, and it'll suddenly get heavier and heavier and heavier.
Just 2 hours away from the end of a historic mission to the moon, a former astronaut joins us in studio with what to expect as Canadian Jeremy Hansen and his crewmates return to Earth. Good evening. We begin tonight with breaking news. The University of Ottawa is on lockdown because of what the school is calling a violent threat on campus. CTV's Stephen Keys has just arrived on campus and joins us live now with the latest. Steph.
Well, Patricia, if you're driving by the University of Ottawa campus right now, things look relatively normal. Students are calm. There's not much panic in the air. But behind me right now on Laurier, there are a few cruisers here when we arrived. They've since departed and moved to another area of campus. But here's what I can tell you so far. Students did receive an email, and notice what's sent on social media. It reads like this: run, hide, defend. There's a violent incident occurring on campus. Avoid the campus. It also suggests that if you're on campus to do this: stop all activities and get inside a building immediately. Find an enclosed area and lock or barricade the door. Turn off the lights and mute all electronic devices. Stay away from doors and windows. Take cover and remain silent until authorities instruct otherwise. I can also let you know that the LRT is passing by the University of Ottawa campus right now, not stopping here. And we have touched base with paramedics who said they did not receive a call to respond to any injuries. Ottawa police also confirming that at this time. But Santiago Proto Sanchez is a student here, and he's going to let us know what the atmosphere on campus was like in the immediate aftermath of receiving that notice. Santiago.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we all received an email first. We all saw on different monitors here in the different part of the university. I think at first people doesn't really care about that one, about the urgency of it. But I think with time passing and what we're seeing on different social media and from friend to friend, we're taking this incident more and more seriously. I think people here are locked in their building, they're locked in their classroom, and yeah.
Right. Thank you, Santiago. So yes, the university is on lockdown at this time. Some people have not been able to leave the buildings. This is an active investigation. The university is suggesting that there's possibly a violent threat. So avoid the area if you can. And really, that's all we know at this time, Patricia.
A very new situation. We will keep people updated as we get more information. CTV's Stephen Keys reporting live for us tonight. Thank you, Steph. Well, turning now to the story of a 4-year-old Ottawa girl with a rare disorder and her race against time to find a cure. Her family says she no longer qualifies for a gene therapy trial. They are now seeking special access and trying to raise millions in the hopes of saving their daughter. CTV's Caitlin Wilson joins us live now with more on this. Caitlin.
Yeah, Patricia, Lucia has Rett syndrome, which her parents say is slowly robbing her of her abilities like walking and talking. They say they spent years advocating for pediatric gene therapy clinical trials to come to Canada, and in December they thought they had won. But because of a 1-year age gap, the family says Lucia doesn't qualify. Now they say they're running out of time.
What'd you pick, sweets?
This device on the wall is how 4-year-old Lucia Vaccaro communicates.
It's very, very difficult. It requires a lot of energy.
She lives with a rare neurological and developmental disorder that her parents say is slowly robbing her of her skills she once had.
It takes away your limbs. It takes away your speech. It can take away your ability to eat. It can take away your ability to think. You get locked in.
It's called Rett syndrome, affecting about 1 in 10,000 girls born each year. And while there is no cure, her parents say there is hope. In December, they say their doctor told them Lucia would be selected for a gene therapy trial led by U.S.-based company Taysha Gene Therapies.
We're told that Lucia is the best candidate and she will start getting this back and this skill back and this skill back. And we were really, really excited.
But weeks later, they say they learned Lucia was no longer eligible because she is 1 year too old.
The rug was pulled out from under us.
In a statement, Patricia says, based on feedback and alignment with the U.S. FDA, the company announced in January it's proceeding with the trial, which will include patients aged 2 to under 4, adding prior to that, no trial sites or patients had been selected.
I do understand the frustration of parents and families.
Dr. Evdokia Anagnostou, who leads Canada's first clinical trials network for neurodevelopmental disorders, is aware of 3 companies running gene therapy trials for Rett syndrome, but says only one has come to Canada.
There are some regulatory barriers that make it harder for them to come. And so we have to partner with our governments and our regulators to make it particularly attractive for a company to want to cross the border and bring the trial here.
The Vaccaros have applied through Health Canada's Special Access Program to get the gene therapy, but the company would still have to agree to supply it, and the cost wouldn't be covered.
The estimate is somewhere in around $1 million US, but it's very likely going to be a lot more.
Now they say time is of the essence, trying to raise millions as Lucia turns 5 next week.
Until 6, she could still be gaining skills, and then she reaches the peak, and from here it's only down. All we want is to make our girl better.
And the family says waiting for the standard approval process in Canada could take years, and they worry by then Lucia may miss a critical window for treatment. We asked the company if they would be willing to supply the gene therapy if Health Canada grants special access and what the cost may be, but Patricia said they aren't able to speculate. Patricia?
Tough situation, all right. CTV's Caitlin Wilson live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, there are questions tonight about how job cuts at the Ottawa Hospital could impact patient care or operations. The plan is to cut 3% of the workforce in the coming months as the hospital deals with growing budget pressures. CTV's Josh Morano reports.
It's a move that could impact roughly 400 positions as the Ottawa Hospital looks to close a growing budget gap.
I don't think it's exaggerating at all to say that this is a devastating blow to the Ottawa Hospital.
The hospital is set to cut 3% of its workforce at a time when demand on the system remains high. The hospital says the cuts come as it faces mounting financial pressure. Despite the province increasing funding in the 2026 budget, advocates warn it has not kept pace with population growth and rising costs.
Ontario hospitals are funded at the lowest rate per person in Canada by a long shot. You know, it's actually billions of dollars behind the average of the rest of the country.
The Ottawa Hospital notes it has already taken steps to cut costs, but say more reductions are now needed. Saying in a statement to CTV News, "We are in the process of working with unions and teams throughout the hospital to finalize specific details. These reductions amount to 3% of our overall workforce. However, through vacancy management and early retirement options, we will work to limit any involuntary departures."
You may be able to run a hospital without a CEO. You cannot run a hospital without the health professionals, the nurses, the cleaners, the people who feed the patients, all the support staff.
The hospital currently has more than 13,000 employees, including 5,200 nurses. Advocates say the cuts come at a time when hospitals are dealing with high demand, staffing shortages, and ongoing system pressures across the province.
They do very good work, but yeah, waiting for a specialist or waiting for any service is probably not what it should be.
Josh Morano, CTV News.
We have extended coverage of the planned job cuts at the Ottawa Hospital and the possible impact. There are more stories online at ctvnewsottawa.ca. Well, they are coming home. In about 2 hours from now, the crew of Artemis II will re-enter the Earth's atmosphere and splash down in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of California, capping off an historic mission that saw humans return to the moon for the first time since 1972.
Cold soaking is initiated.
This is a live look at the Orion spacecraft as it makes its way back. You can clearly see the Earth as they get closer. Splashdown scheduled for 8:07 p.m. You can hear some of the conversation happening there. This is widely considered the riskiest part of the mission. CTV's Joy Malbin has the details on what will happen during landing.
With a wake-up song, now the riskiest part of this historic moon mission, re-entering Earth's atmosphere. It's the trickiest part of their ride home, Just ask the pilot, Victor Glover.
We have to get back. And riding a fireball through the atmosphere is profound as well.
To ride that fireball, a special coating on the bottom of the Orion capsule, protecting the astronauts from extreme heat. The last uncrewed mission didn't go so well, but NASA is confident Orion's modified heat shield and a new angle of re-entry will get them home safe.
Then they'll start to brush into the upper atmosphere, and it'll suddenly get heavier and heavier and heavier as they're being pushed from below.
The Artemis crew has traveled deeper into space than any other humans, giving us striking new celestial images of the moon and planet Earth. Reflecting on it all, Canada's Jeremy Henson.
We live on a fragile planet in the vacuum and the void of space. Our purpose on the planet as humans is to find joy, to find the joy in lifting each other up by creating solutions together instead of destroying.
There were unforgettable moments. A moon crater named after Commander Reed Weissman's late wife.
It's a bright spot on the moon, and we would like to call it Carol.
Talking to the Prime Minister.
Canadians are so proud of what you're doing.
The U.S. President.
Congratulations to everybody. I'll see you at the Oval Office.
Fixing a lunar loo.
We definitely have to fix some of the plumbing.
And chasing a floating Nutella jar.
Integrity systems are in good shape.
As they prepare to come back home.
I just want to look at my daughters, Ellie and Katie, and just say I love you.
Family and the world waits. Joy Melvin, CTV News, Washington.
And coming up just a little later in the newscast, we'll be joined in studio by former Canadian Space Agency astronaut Robert Thirsk to talk about this historic moment.
Still ahead, it's just like riding a bike. Do we hop back on the bike share bandwagon? Would it work in Ottawa this time? And is it worth the money to get it rolling? That story coming up.
Well, taking a live look now through our Centennial Glass Skycam, a very different evening from what we saw last night. Quite a bit cooler out there as well. 4 degrees. It was a little bit messy today. Jackie, will we see some of that continue into the weekend?
Well, the good news is, Patricia, you're seeing that little bit of that sunshine peek through the clouds. We're going to see more sunshine for our Saturday. And yes, you could leave the umbrella at home for tomorrow at least. You might want to bring that out for Sunday night, but we'll get to that in just a bit. So taking a look for this evening, a little bit of that cloud cover moving through, but mainly clear skies by the time we get to Saturday morning. Lots of sunshine in store, a mix of sun and cloud for your Saturday. Conditions for temperature, it's actually going to start to warm up a bit, not quite by much. We are anticipating a daytime high of 9 degrees. Hopefully with that sun, it could hit the double digits. However, in the morning, we are anticipating some heavy wind gusts moving through 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. It should subside by the time we get to Saturday evening. Right now, though, temperatures across eastern Ontario sitting around 4 or 5 degrees. Still a slight chance that we could see some rain moving in, but for the most part, chances are really great that we are anticipating mainly cloudy skies for this evening. Patricia.
Thank you. Well, more changes are coming to how school boards in this province are governed. Ontario Education Minister Paul Calandra says the government will be introducing significant legislation on school board governance on Monday. The Ottawa-Carleton District School Board is among 8 Ontario school boards already under provincially appointed supervisors, with elected trustees suspended from their jobs. Premier Doug Ford has refused to say whether elected trustees will be on the ballot in municipal elections in October. And changes are also coming to post-secondary teacher education programs in this province. In an effort to address a teacher shortage, the Ford government will table new legislation next week in which teacher education programs would go from the current 4 semesters over 2 years to 3 semesters over 1 year. The province also says there will be more emphasis on practicum placements. The proposed changes are expected to come into effect in May of next year. And St. Lawrence College in Eastern Ontario is merging with Fleming College in Peterborough. The 2 colleges say the move will benefit both schools, creating broader access to programs and services and better financial sustainability in the long term. St. Lawrence College has 10,000 full-time students at its campuses in Kingston, Brockville, and Cornwall, and also enrolled online. Late last year, the federal government launched the Build Canada Homes program to significantly increase the affordable housing supply across Canada. Today, the city laid out plans to waive millions of dollars in fees and taxes to help build homes on federal lands in Ottawa. CTV's Kimberly Fowler joins us in studio for a breakdown of the deal. Kimberly.
Well, Patricia, councillors approved the city's contribution to the partnership with the federal government today during a special committee meeting at City Hall. Now, the deal calls for 3,000 new homes to be built in the capital. In the $400 million partnership between the federal government and the City of Ottawa, the city will waive up to $250 million in fees and taxes. Now, Ottawa is the first municipality in Canada to reach an agreement with the Build Canada Homes Agency. Mayor Mark Sutcliffe insists the city is not putting any cash into the agreement. They're simply foregoing future revenue and calling this deal a game changer for affordable housing, ensuring units remain publicly owned and affordable for generations to come.
Our commitment in this agreement is to remove costs from the process to make the homes as affordable as possible. So we are waiving property taxes, charges, and fees on the affordable and supportive units. That ensures the lowest cost possible for residents.
Now, the homes will be built for mixed income communities with an emphasis on providing affordable and supportive housing. The Ottawa Real Estate Board calling this a huge win, as it's long been advocating for different levels of governments to work together.
This is the kind of coordinated effort that Ottawa really needs right now. It addresses multiple issues, funds being provided both federally and the municipality being able to unleash some of the tools that it has available to it to be able to build homes and to make them actually build faster.
The 3,000 homes are expected to start construction within the next 12 months and then be ready for residents to move in about a year. And the hope is that this model is what other cities and municipalities will use moving forward. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Kimberly Fowler live for us tonight. Thank you. Ottawa drivers are getting some relief at the gas pumps just in time for the weekend. Gas prices dropped 13 cents a litre at stations here in Ottawa and right across the province today. Prices at some local stations this afternoon around $1.71 a litre. Prices are expected to go back up next week when refineries switch from winter to summer-grade blend gas. The Liberal Party appears poised to form a majority government in the coming days with 3 crucial by-elections on Monday. And that is set to be the focus of this weekend's Liberal convention in Montreal. CTV's Ottawa Bureau Chief Graham Richardson joins us now live from the convention. Graham, good to talk to you.
Good to see you, Patricia.
So there was a lot of pushback going into this on the latest floor crossing. You were part of some tough questioning on that. But today, those former floor crossers, former Conservatives, front and center at this Liberal convention. An interesting part of the timing on all this.
It is, Patricia. They haven't been hiding them at all. Marilyn Gladue actually front and center, kind of like a rock star here. The Liberals are really celebrating this as a notion that Mark Carney is transcending partisanship, and he is growing the party, and he is growing essentially his power base here from all sides of the House. There is evidence of that. Of course, the people in Sarnia, Gladue's riding, are not very happy, many of them. They did not vote for the Liberal Party. They voted for the Conservative Party. But it appears the Liberals are going to live with this because this move keeps them 1 seat away from a majority government, and they are likely going to take at least 2 of those ridings on Monday night. So a significant night then.
Absolutely. So those floor crossings, a key part of why they will be able to do that on Monday. Talk about the mood, because we heard earlier that it was a bit festive there, that there's a sense of celebration. The word momentum is being used over and over again going into Monday and that changing landscape when, in fact, it looks like there will be a majority government.
Well, you love Montreal. And a lot of people do, and the Liberals love it tonight. There is a real party atmosphere here, Patricia. Look, a year and a half ago, I talked to an MP this week who said internal polling had them at 15 seats, and I was going to be one of them. They are now on the cusp of a majority government. It's been an extraordinary turnaround. A lot of it has come at the expense of the Conservatives. This kind of euphoria will not last forever. It is an extended holiday, an extended honeymoon. They're certainly enjoying it now, but as I said, it certainly won't last forever.
CTV's Graham Richardson live from Montreal for us tonight. Thanks, Graham. And CTV will have a federal by-election special on Monday, April 13th. It will begin at 7 p.m. Will be hosted by CTV's chief news anchor and senior editor Omar Sachedina and chief political correspondent Vashi Kapelos. That special will air and live stream on CTV News Channel, ctvnews.ca, Crave, CP24, and BNN Bloomberg. Well, another programming note this weekend, the CTV network is airing coverage of the Masters Golf Tournament on Saturday and Sunday. As a result, our CTV News at 6 will be broadcast on CTV2 in its regular time slot from 6 to 7. Taking another live look now at NASA's live stream of the Artemis II mission. The astronauts are making their way closer to Earth with splashdown less than 2 hours away. Coming up, we're going to speak with former astronaut Robert Thirsk about this historic moment. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Patricia. A significant difference from the temperatures we saw yesterday. Overnight conditions will get down to about the freezing mark. Yes, there's a slight chance that we could see some flurries early tomorrow morning, but for the most part, we are anticipating sun and cloud. And yes, a daytime high of 9 degrees. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, showcasing Kaweki Point. Again, sunset closer to about 7:45 this evening. Right now, the temperature is 4 degrees.
Taking a live look at the roads now on a Friday evening. Pretty quiet out there. It was fairly quiet this morning as well. Seeing just slowdowns in a few of the regular spots on the Queensway at the tail end of this commute. Well, it has gripped the attention of the nation and the world, and now the Artemis II mission is in the final countdown. Taking a look now at NASA's live stream of the spacecraft as it approaches the Earth. The return from deep space after the historic mission is no easy feat. A plunge through Earth's atmosphere ahead of splashdown off the coast of California just after 8 o'clock this evening. 4 astronauts in that crew capsule, including, of course, Canadian Jeremy Hansen. And while we are watching all of this with fascination, our next guest is watching with some knowledge of what those astronauts would be feeling. And we're very pleased to be joined in studio by fellow Canadian astronaut, former Canadian astronaut, Dr. Robert Thirsk. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
So this is really a crucial part of the mission, of course, bringing everyone home safely. That timeline between now and when splashdown is expected to occur, what will be happening? What do they need to be concerned about?
The crew will be getting into their seats. They'll be putting on their orange suits that you probably saw them wearing on launch day, connecting their oxygen, connecting all their communication cables. They'll be jettisoning the important European service module, which has got them through this part of the mission so far. By jettisoning the service module, the landing heat shield is now exposed. And then they'll get a little bit of separation distance from that and then make sure that they're oriented correct to hit the atmosphere at the right place with the right velocity and the right orientation in a few minutes.
I know you mentioned that you had received an email, and all former Canadian astronauts did, I guess, from Jeremy Hansen, saying thank you, that he stood on your shoulders, that he can be a part of this because of some of what you have done. You must feel very connected to him in particular as you're watching this mission unfold.
Yeah, Jeremy is a Canadian astronaut, a great Canadian astronaut, a colleague, but also, as you mentioned, he's a friend as well. And I really want all of this to go well today. Jeremy has been a fine representative for Canada. I really like the camaraderie that this particular crew of 4 has demonstrated on TV in the downlinks over the last week. He just makes me so proud to be associated with him.
You hold the distinction of holding the record for most time spent in space by a Canadian, of course, the International Space Station, incredible. But before that, years back, the Columbia Space Shuttle, the successful mission, of course. And then, of course, we all know what happened on re-entry with that shuttle years later and the disaster that unfolded. You must have also felt very connected to that at that time. What is in your heart and your head as you watch this Artemis II, the Orion, watch it come back down? What are you feeling?
Well, I still feel that spaceflight is associated with risks. We try to mitigate, we try to reduce them as much as possible. But just like launch, there are still risks of, and I have a little bit of fear to answer your question. But I know that the crew is focused on their task. They're following checklists step by step by step, and they're going to do it properly. And I just, even though I have this sense of confidence, I'm also a little bit anxious, a little bit of fearful that but things need to go right.
And some would say, just very quickly, tougher on those who are watching. They're trained to do their job. They are locked in, dialed in, controlling the heart rate, all of that. Is that actually possible for them?
It's absolutely true. It's something that we call compartmentalization, where they are focused on nothing except for the procedures that they have to do and execute properly.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing your experience and your perspective. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Dr. Robert Thirsk, former Canadian astronaut. As we take a look at our weather here on Earth, boring old Earth in our region, although those astronauts will be very happy to return to it. Certainly a rainy start to the weekend, gray and gloomy in the capital, but the good news is the sunshine is set to return to the Ottawa area tomorrow, and Jackie is here with a full check on the weekend weather forecast. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Patricia. You can actually see the weather system has moved, so even by 7 o'clock, we might even see a little bit of that sun peeking through just before it sets for the evening, and we kickstart our weekend. Right now, temperature sitting at 4 degrees. We saw a daytime high of 6, and we've got those northerly winds moving through, so it is a little bit cool and damp. And then tomorrow morning, we will likely see heavier wind gusts moving through as well. Tonight's lows across eastern Ontario really hovering around the freezing mark, about -1 degree along Kingston. Gatineau, though, Mont Tremblant around -4, -5 degrees. It is tomorrow's daytime highs, and you can see that these icons are showing a little bit of that chance of flurries. This is really before 7 a.m. For the most part, for all of our Saturday, we will likely see a mix of sun and cloud. 9 to 10 degrees is the anticipated daytime high for our Saturday. Right now, across the country, temperatures still hovering around 10 degrees in Atlantic Canada, especially Charlottetown and Fredericton. Slightly cooler here, Sudbury 4 degrees, Timmins at 2, Windsor, though, 11 degrees. And our friends out west, they're getting lots of sunshine, 11 degrees in Calgary, Edmonton, and Regina, 14 degrees in Vancouver. Now, giving you an idea for Sunday, that's when we will likely want to bring out the umbrella, because we are likely going to see some rain moving through by Sunday afternoon, and it'll start to pick up for heavier rainfall at Kingston and Brockville, maybe around 3 p.m. for Sunday. By 5 p.m., parts of Smiths Falls. It may not even reach Ottawa yet, but we are keeping a close eye on this forecast showing Sunday into Monday that we are anticipating periods of rain moving through. Now, the 7-day forecast is brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aids. Join them at the 55 Plus show at the EY Center, April 10th and 11th. So you can see that Saturday daytime high at 10 degrees, 9 for our Sunday. Loving the double digits for Monday, 17 degrees. And if you even pay attention to those overnight lows, it's already going to be above seasonal temperatures, because we are getting overnights at 6 degrees. That's going to average for the next several days, and the average for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's going to move from 12 degrees to 17 degrees. So spring, I'm hoping I can say, has officially arrived. Now, the early bird prize deadline for the Princess Margaret Home Lottery is midnight tonight. This is the last chance to be entered into the draw to win the $2.6 million early bird prize, a Halliburton lakefront cottage, plus $50,000 in cash. Buy your ticket online at princessmargaretlotto.com or call 1-866-631-1234.
Yeah, let's start thinking about cottages and cottage weather, shall we? It's coming around the bend.
I'm for it.
Yeah, thank you, Jackie.
It is such a surprise that we don't have that already.
Bike sharing programs work well in many Canadian cities. Why not Ottawa? A councillor here wants to bring it back. And we have a new pop quiz online tonight. You can test your knowledge of the week's news. Take the quiz at ctvnewsottawa.ca. Well, our popular Team of the Week segment is back. If you want to be a part of our Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week, upload your video to ctvnewsottawa.ca. Ottawa is such a bike-friendly city, but a bike-sharing system has never really taken off here. There are calls now to bring one back. A new study shows a public bike-sharing program could work in the National Capital Region, but it would come with a price tag. CTV's Kimberly Johnson has the details.
Luke Jamieson doesn't have a bicycle and thinks Ottawa should have an option for those like him to easily access one.
Long overdue. In a city with like the great biking infrastructure that we have, like all the trails and stuff, it is such a surprise that we don't have that already.
He likes the idea of a bike sharing system coming back to city streets.
I live in Chinatown, and if I could, I would 100% take some of the trails that are along kind of like the Line 1.
It's something Councillor Sean Menard wants to see as well. He got the wheels moving on on a study back in 2023. The results are in, which shows a public system could work in the National Capital Region. The initial service area would cover Hull and Gatineau, and in Ottawa, Centretown, Hintonburg, Lowertown, the Byward Market, Sandy Hill, Vanier, the Glebe, and Old Ottawa South, launching with 1,200 bikes.
The connections to transit, the mobility options that it presents, the cheaper way of getting around the city, all of these are reasons to look at it.
But it comes with a price tag of up to $10 million to launch the system, with additional funding required every year to operate it. City staff are reviewing the study and want to see whether partnering with a private company could cut down on costs.
Having a company that can come in and operate the system, that knows these bike share systems in other cities that have done a great job of it, where we've seen those expansions, that makes perfect sense to have their expertise in here.
Ottawa has had bike sharing programs before. The last one ceased in 2018, but it's popular in other Canadian cities like Montreal and Toronto.
I think the problem in the past is that the programs have been too tentative and they've been focused on tourists rather than actually residents who live here. And I think you need a good level of investment and a good sort of critical mass of bikes to get it started.
Information will be presented to a city committee later this month. Kimberly Johnson, CTV News.
In tonight's big picture, an unexpected visitor found its way into the Alta Vista area earlier today. A beaver was seen wandering around on Kilbourne Avenue. This is not a joke, between Beaver Avenue and Utah Street. Home sweet home. Bylaw officers were able to track down the animal hiding out in a backyard shed. They safely relocated it near Brewer Park by the Rideau River. Well, now some other stories you need to know right now. We're getting a look tonight at how much it costs to rent an apartment in Ottawa. The average asking rent in Ottawa last month was $2,145. In Canada, it was higher at nearly $2,400. The national average was just over $2,000, the lowest in 35 months. The cost of renting a one-bedroom and two-bedroom apartment in Ottawa did drop slightly in March. A one-bedroom cost an average $1,955, down $5 from February. The average rent for a two-bedroom dropped to $2,457 last month. New data shows the busiest red light cameras in Ottawa so far this year. The camera in the northbound lanes of King Edward Avenue at St. Andrew Street issued the most tickets in January and February. It nabbed a total of 402 drivers. The one on Wellington at Bay issued 251 tickets during the first 2 months of the year, followed by the camera on Kent Street at Arlington Avenue, which nabbed 246 drivers. Well, the Ford government is set to close the last remaining provincially funded supervised consumption site in Ontario. It's located in Kingston. The Kingston Community Health Centre currently operates the integrated care hub on Montreal Street. The province says it will close at the end of September and transition to a homelessness and addiction recovery treatment centre, or HEART hub. In 2024, 2 people were killed and a third was seriously injured in an attack at the encampment near the site.
Still working across on it. 1-2 now outnumbered. Zetterling steps in. High shot off the bow, and it's a good goal.
Another huge game for the Ottawa Senators at the Canadian Tire Centre last night. The Sens hosting the Florida Panthers, sending them home with 5 goals and only allowing 1 to get past Linus Ullmark in net. That 5-1 win pushing them ever closer to securing a playoff spot. They have just 3 games left. They play again tomorrow afternoon on the road against the New York Islanders.
Can't get it out. Loose puck. Foster keeps it in. Here's Whitehead with a lane. His shot scores!
It was not the night for the Ottawa 67s, though. On the road in Barrie, the Colts beat the Barber Poles 4-2 in the first game of the second round series. Game 2 is tomorrow night in Barrie. Just ahead, we will head back to the University of Ottawa, where the campus is still in lockdown tonight. CTV's Stefan Keys will join us live with the latest just ahead.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Returning now to our breaking news. The University of Ottawa is on lockdown tonight because of what the school is calling a violent threat on campus. CTV's Stefan Keys is there, joins us live with the latest. What are we hearing now, Steph?
Well, Patricia, right now there's a lot of curiosity on campus. Students have been receiving this lockdown message, and another one was just sent out letting them know that the campus is still on lockdown at this time. We know that Ottawa police are here at the university working with the university security to investigate and quell the situation. But right now we also know that the LRT station is locked down. Special constables are here behind me making sure that no one enters the U Ottawa station. The trains are going right by the station and not stopping. But we have moved from where we were earlier on Laurier Street. We do believe that we are in the area where some activity was happening, somewhere in this vicinity, and you can see that the students behind me are onlookers wondering what's happening. We did speak to one who did hear some screaming.
So I was walking and from the pathway, and then I came around like 5:05, 5:10, and then I just saw a bunch of students like screaming here, and they're running, and then protection service officers and some other people like that came, and they get back. They were screaming to come back, telling students to get away from the old train, and then yeah, they were screaming, and then at first people didn't really like think it was like bad and stuff, but once they saw all the cops come, they just started running like crazy, and stuff like that.
Now, the protocol for the lockdown on campus, they send out a message. It reads, run, hide, defend. Obviously, that puts everyone on high alert. But again, police say no injuries to report at this time, Patricia, and that is a good sign. Back to you.
Absolutely. All right, CTV's Stefan Keys keeping us up to date on this. We appreciate it tonight. Thank you.
This is the kind of thing that should keep us up at night.
Well, coming up, one of the big tech companies develops a new AI model, but they say it's too dangerous to release to the public. We'll have details on that after the break.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barrhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
As always on Friday, we want to check in with our iHeartRadio Weekender, Tanea Taylor. Tanea.
The 6 words everyone is wondering right now, what is going on this weekend? Well, starting off with the 55 Plus Lifestyle Show at the EY Centre today and tomorrow. Check out amazing entertainment, unique exhibitors, live music, including the Canadian Cowboys and Alan Doyle, plus a chance to head on a dream wine and food adventure for 2 to South Africa. And to make it all even better, admission is free. Brought to you by Davidson Hearing. Next up is for my fellow country music lovers, or just music lovers in general, the Maple and Moonshine Music Festival. This is a brand new 3-day festival in the Byward Market. It features over 30 artists across 10 venues. The vibe is going to be similar to Broadway in Nashville, with live music at every spot you walk into, so super cool. Last today is also for the music lovers, the Ottawa Record Fair. Get access to thousands of records to add to your collection or just browse for fun. Doors open at 11 a.m. tomorrow at 355 Cooper Street off of Bank. Lots more happening this weekend around Ottawa. The full list and all the details at ctvottawa.ca/weekenders. For the iHeartRadio Weekenders, my name's Tanea Taylor. Have a great one.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barrhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Taking another live look now at the Orion spacecraft inside that crew capsule as it makes its way back to Earth. You can see the astronauts. They have their helmets on. That crew capsule will disengage from the remainder of the rocket just after 7:30 and then splash down in the Pacific Ocean in about an hour and a half. Well, Canadian bank executives and other regulators met today to discuss a powerful new AI model and the risks it poses to Canadian cybersecurity. The company says it's an AI model so powerful, it's not being released to the public. CTV's Heather Wright reports.
Energy grids, hospitals, banks. These are just some of the infrastructure experts say could easily be exploited by Cloud Mythos, a new AI model called Dangerous by the company that created it.
This is the kind of thing that should keep us up at night.
This week, Anthropic announced its latest AI model, one so powerful, the company says, that it can find vulnerabilities in virtually every major operating system and web browser, using relatively simple prompts. Anthropic says, given the rate of AI progress, it will not be long before such capabilities proliferate, potentially beyond actors who are committed to deploying them safely. The fallout for economies, public safety, and national security could be severe.
It's like using ChatGPT to be a hacker. And so, unfortunately, what that does is it means that our existing defenses are no longer sufficient.
While Anthropic is not releasing Claude Mythos to the public, it is giving it to a select group of tech companies, part of what it's calling Project Glasswing, an initiative to help identify critical software vulnerabilities. While some have called Mythos AI doomsday, others caution Anthropic's announcement could be a savvy marketing strategy in the competitive race for AI dominance.
Many people would be right in saying that this is a little bit of hype, a little bit of press release.
Still, cybersecurity expert Claudio Popa says it's only a matter of time until Mythos or a different AI model with similar power becomes widely available.
We certainly need to acknowledge the capability of the tool, and we need to start preparing for such a time when there will be lots of AIs scouring the internet looking for vulnerabilities.
Experts say this announcement should serve as a wake-up call to organizations and governments to beef up their cybersecurity. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
I think it's great to see everybody out here having a great time, having a few beers, hanging out, and challenging ourselves to something that's not second nature, like the mums.
Well, coming up, Ottawa dads gather at a bar not just to drink beer, but to learn how to do their daughter's hair. Love it. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Patricia. After a cool, rainy day, things are going to start to warm up for tomorrow. Yes, early morning, we could see some flurries, but it's very slim chance. 10 degrees is the anticipated daytime high. Lots of sunshine. 9 degrees and a chance of the showers moving in for Sunday evening. So at least we'll get one sunny day for our weekend. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. It's 4 degrees right now in the capital, showcasing Sussex Drive as well as McDonald's Cartier Bridge.
Monday on Your Morning Ottawa, Artemis II returns to work. We speak with a local expert about that historic mission. Tune in on CTV or stream us live on Crave at 6 a.m. We'll see you then.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Here's what's on CTV on your Friday night. E-Talk, The Big Bang Theory, Children Ruin Everything, Happy's Place, Celebrity Jeopardy, and Boston Blue. And one final look at the weekend weather forecast, Jackie.
Thanks so much, Patricia. So leave your umbrellas at home. Cloudy skies to start. We're starting off with the freezing mark, but we are warming up to, yes, 10 degrees. We got 1 degree warmer. Sun and cloud is our anticipated conditions for Saturday. Sunday, 9 degrees. And yes, there is a chance that we could see some rain moving through, but this will be in the early part of the evening. So you will have fully Saturday and Sunday for the most of the day to enjoy. And then we'll look at Monday into the rest of the week. 17 degrees is what we are averaging. And those overnight lows are averaging about 8 degrees. So spring, I'm hoping I can say this next week, has officially arrived in Ottawa.
And returning now to our breaking news story, the University of Ottawa still on lockdown because of what the school has called a violent threat on campus. CTV's Stephen Keys has been there for the last hour for us and joins us with an update. Steph.
Yeah, Patricia, as far as we know, and we can confirm that the lockdown notice has not been lifted here at the University of Ottawa right now. I'm along Laurier. If you are in the area driving down Laurier or King Edward, you really wouldn't be able to tell that there's much going on here. There are themselves asking me if I know much, but we do know that Ottawa police are still working actively with campus security to investigate this situation. We know that earlier today they issued this notice. It reads like this: there's an increased police presence in the area of Nicholas Street and Laurier Avenue as officers investigate a suspicious incident. That is how they're describing it. There are no reported injuries at this time. More information will be provided as it becomes available. So we are still waiting word on that. However, the lockdown notice issued by the University of Ottawa was much more serious. Run, hide, defend is how it's titled. There's a violent incident occurring on campus. Avoid the area if you're on campus. They said to stop all activities, and as far as we know, there are some students that may still be inside some of the buildings on lockdown waiting to be released. We're still waiting for an update in that regard. We know the LRT station is shut down at the University of Ottawa campus. The trains are running, but they are not stopping at the university at this time. Some of the students are there where the special constables have been set up, wondering what's going on. And so we will try to bring you the very latest tonight at 11:30, and certainly look for updates on our website, ctvnewsottawa.ca. Patricia.
Yeah, absolutely. CTV Stefan Keys live at the Ottawa campus for us tonight. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, well, quickly here to end our show, we have this, which was really great last night. This is a chance for girl dads to learn how to do their daughter's hair. It's a heartwarming event that was organized here in Ottawa by an Ottawa dad.
It's important for me to take care of some of those maybe more typically mom things.
I think it's great to see everybody out here having a great time, having a few beers, hanging out, and challenging ourselves to something that's not, you know, it's not second nature like the mums.
She asked me to do hairstyles. She's like, do this one from like, I don't know, whatever TV show or movie shows. I'm like, I can't do that. I can do braids. That's all I got. So maybe I can do one more style after tonight. That'd be a success.
The workshop is called Braids and Beers. It brings together fathers so they can learn how to style and braid hair. They had 8 professional stylists giving them the tutorial, Jackie. And I talked to the organizer yesterday on radio, said he has twin girls, and like he's got to come through for them. He's got to be able to do this. So put this all together, and the response has been incredible.
I'm so impressed that they can do, I mean, I can't even do a French braid on my own hair. So, I mean, if they're doing lessons and we can be invited to these beers and braids, I'm in.
Absolutely. Yeah. Lots more to learn. We leave you with these slightly gray pictures on a Friday evening, but a good weekend ahead. We'll see you back here on Monday.